Let's face it, the Pixel 8a is probably the closest A-series phone that it's ever been to the flagship Pixel phones. And by the end of this video, I think you'll see why the Pixel 8a is clearly the better option than the Pixel 8. Obviously, most people will agree, but if you don't, leave a comment down below. Let's go ahead and get started. The biggest reason to choose the Pixel 8a is going to be the price. As of this video, the Pixel 8a is $499. Price of the regular Pixel 8 is $699, so about $200 difference. Obviously, there's going to be times where the Pixel 8 is going to be on sale, but more than likely the 8a is going to be on sale as well. Probably as low as $399 or less, considering they were already giving $100 gift cards at most places during the launch. Now, typically with mid-range phones, you don't get as good of a screen as the flagship version, but surprisingly in this case, they both have up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Both also have the same 1080 by 2400 resolution. They also have up to 2000 nits peak brightness. Really the only difference that I see is you've got Gorilla Glass Victus on the regular Pixel 8 versus Gorilla Glass 3 on the A series. But just putting them right next to each other, I imagine you can't even tell the difference, except for just a little extra bezel down at the bottom for the Pixel 8a, which to be honest, I don't feel like most people will even notice. Another reason to get the Pixel 8a is even though it has a smaller battery at 4,492 milliamp hour versus 4,575, it lasted almost 2 hours longer in my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness versus the flagship Pixel 8. You also get wireless charging on the 8a. You just don't get the battery share feature on the A series, but I doubt most people actually use that or even realize their phone has it. Normally, you don't get as long of software support on the mid-range phones versus flagship. I mean, just look at Samsung A series phones compared to the S24 series, especially if you look at some of the Samsung A series phones. Well, in this case, the Pixel 8a is on the same software version as the flagship Pixel 8, and you're gonna get the same 7-year software support, which is kind of unheard of for mid-range phones. This might be the first one to get that. Plus, you're also gonna get a lot of the same photo and AI features like Magic Editor, Magic Eraser, Unblur, Portrait Blur, and a lot of other cool features on the 8a that you get on the flagship Pixel 8. Now, performance is usually a big difference between a mid-range and a flagship phone, but surprisingly, the Pixel 8a has 8 GB of RAM, just like the regular Pixel 8, and it's using the same Tensor G3 processor. Sure, it might be throttled a little bit, so it makes the regular Pixel 8 look better, and single and multi-core scores. But if you look at the GPU scores, I feel like they forgot to do something because the Pixel 8a is actually higher than the flagship version. Typically, you also get better speakers on the flagship phone over a mid-range, but in this case, they're pretty much the same from what I can tell. Here's a quick sample of each just to see if you can tell a difference. Cameras are usually another giveaway that you're using a mid-range or budget phone versus a flagship phone, but to me, you're not really missing out on much by going with the 8A over the flagship Pixel 8. I noticed there are a few differences, like you get action pan and video blur on the regular Pixel 8, but not on the A series. But again, how many people will actually use those? The camera bump is a little bit bigger on the regular Pixel 8. You can also shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second on both phones. You even get a higher resolution at 64 megapixels on the back of the 8A versus 50 megapixels on the regular Pixel 8. It does switch to macro mode on the regular Pixel 8, which is kind of nice. Not really a deal breaker though. You also get a 13 megapixel for the front facing camera on the 8A versus 12 megapixel on the regular Pixel 8. Overall, sure, the regular Pixel 8 might be better in some cases, but I wouldn't be surprised if the A series wins another blind camera test later this year, which is kind of funny to see when people don't know which phone took the photos. But as you can see, I think I've made a pretty clear case here on why you should choose the Pixel 8A over the flagship Pixel 8. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.